All right, welcome to another podcast episode of Everything Money.
Moolah.
Should we change it to Everything Crypto? Since crypto's taking over?
New currency.
Currency.
Technically, it falls under money, but I like it.
All right.
So I had an epiphany on Thursday.
Yeah.
Epiphery, Michael Scott says. What happened? Okay, so Meta happened on Wednesday or whatever. And I think Meta was a great learning experience.
Oh, for sure.
I think it was one of the most valuable learning experiences I've had so far. But it made me think a lot. And then it made me think of why I didn't purchase more, like physically go in there and buy more shares when it was so cheap. And then I started thinking about other stocks. And
I did. I bought some.
yeah.
I actually got lucky and bought literally at the
Like
bottom.
the bottom. Yeah.
Talk about luck, huh?
But I think at that point, like with Meta, you look at everything that's like that is like something where you should just take a massive position at that level.
So I don't agree with that. I agree with, I like our new strategy. Just continue to buy if the price makes sense. Decide what you're going to buy every week of every stock that makes sense and go in. And that's what we're doing now, right? Mm-hmm. Every Monday we're going to go in and whatever stocks that we want to own, if they're below our price target, then we just buy it.
Yeah.
It takes my big thing is I want to take the thinking out of it.
Yeah. You actually made a good point yesterday. You said
I actually made a good point. Was that new for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one. What? You just said, we're learning about all of this. What's the like the centerpiece of all of this? Take the thinking out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, good point.
You know, and to Mo, what he's trying to say is we have learned, as we read more and more about investing, we realize that the more and more you think,
The worse you do.
the worse you do.
The more you convolute everything.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain aspects that are very important, but pick the aspects that really matter to you. Mm-hmm. Like that email exchange we had today with, I was very frustrated with that.
Yeah, me too.
I was just like, what?
I was too. I was like literally, I'm just thinking there. I just think, I don't think that he's the type of investor that I thought he was. That's kind of where my whole mind is coming to. Not in a bad way, just in a way that it doesn't align with the goals that we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I really have gravitated towards right now I'm at 28 companies that I want to own forever. Mm-hmm. That I go, listen, if I can, because I like their balance sheets, I like the business they're in, their leaders.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to make as much money?
Maybe not.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, with a lot of them, yeah. Because they're so big and they don't have the opportunity to...
Right. The way I'll make a lot of money is if they buy tons of shares back.
Right.
So the market cap stays the same, but they keep buying tons of shares back, and over long periods of time, I make a lot of money. Now, but I'm okay with that because I don't have to worry, is this company going away or not?
Yeah.
You know, and I recently talked about it, and I was going to announce it. Like, I really consider myself wrong on CCL, wrong on Walgreens. Like, my analysis is just...
Why do you think you're wrong on Walgreens? That one.
I don't
CCL I get.
I don't see at this point in time with the numbers that they're doing and the things they've done that I go, yeah, this is obvious to me. Mm-hmm. I look at it going, could it be the right play? Yeah, it could, but I think I'd rather just wait for their numbers to become more consistent. And because I look at there's companies that have a high ROIC, high cash flow, et cetera, that I go, and consistent cash flow, I go, okay, they might be wrong, but even if they're wrong,
they're still going to do okay.
Yeah, they're still going to do well.
Yeah.
I don't see that with Walgreens.
Have you compared them to CVS?
Yeah, I have. I like Walgreens more than CVS, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of just shied away from both of them. Not a big.
There's a lot of...
I've never invested in either one, but they were both...
That's the thing. I exited my Walgreens with like a 2% gain. And I was just like, you know what, Paul, just doesn't make sense to you. Just move on. And I shouldn't have cared if it was super... Because I exited CCL at like a 15% loss. Dollar cost average loss.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like... And
so
I
you're out of it.
Yeah. But I made money on covered calls all along the way.
Course.
So maybe I lost 10%, 5% overall.
I got super lucky with that one.
Yeah, you
CCL,
exited early, L.
Exited like literally at the top of their kind of rebound at $27.
Well, that's the other thing. Sorry. I got shares taken away at $27.
Oh, okay.
But then I rebought back.
Gotcha.
So I overall probably still made money, but I rebought back in at like sub 15.
Gotcha.
Or sub 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyhow, like these are the part of the learning experiences that we do. And man, CCL, that one bothered me. Didn't bother me. It makes me go like, somebody did warn me. That person we're talking about in the email today said, I don't think the debt's going to stop. I don't think the dilution's going to stop.
He's right.
Yeah, and he even said, he's like, listen, it very well could be a value play, but I just worry about it. And I was just like, I think that's going to stop because once they start getting people back in, what's the purpose of it?
Yeah.
CCL just said, hold my beer, Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
I haven't checked to compare them to like Norwegian or anything. Are they doing the same thing? Are they all on the same track?
I have not looked.
Yeah, I haven't looked either. I just assumed CCL at the time was the biggest cruise line out of the big major cruise lines, and the thought was if cruises are going to stick around, CCL will do well because they're the leader.
Yeah.
But I would assume Norwegian is not doing that well.
I still look at companies and I go, yeah, I just really like low debt companies. I don't know. I think my investing thesis has changed a lot in 3 years since we've had this channel. Mm-hmm. I used to want to be an active value investor. Now I want to be a lazy value investor. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like every week now I get to go in and buy. I actually look forward to it now.
Yeah.
Great. Which stocks are low? These ones great. I'm going to go buy some more.
Yeah, I bought a company yesterday, started a position in the morning, and by the end of the day it was down 3%. I went and bought more.
Yeah. See, that's what I don't agree with because it's not systematic.
We didn't have the system until after I bought the second lot.
Not true. Before you bought the second lot,
I said... You didn't put it in your calendar until...
Oh my God, are you kidding me right now? I literally said to you, Mo, why don't you just wait till next week and just buy it next week?
It wasn't on paper. What?
You sound like Lisa. You sound like Lisa right now.
I was so excited to buy. I just wanted to get...
I don't think you're going to do bad with that. I'm just saying.
That's the one where I look at... Because I look at that one and you saw my valuation in Stock Analyzer and I was like... what are you doing? That's the kind of company with that kind of stock price where I'm just like, just put the position in and don't look at it again. Let it go. Look at it in a decade. See how you're doing.
So you just want to get a full position. See, to me...
that's my push and pull, and something I actually wanted to talk about today was what's the best way of going about it?
So here's the benefit with our options plays. We get cash coming in, and when we get dividends, when we're finally fully invested, we're going to have lots of cash coming in every single month. Mm-hmm. Just keep buying every week, every month, and just go, okay, I'm going to keep buying.
Yeah. But then I like that, but then I go to the other side. I'm like, what if it just continues to go higher and higher and I don't load a full position that I want in there?
So that's why I like the idea of saying, as long as it's selling below the price you want to own it at, you buy.
But let's say that you wanted...
If it went up 20% tomorrow, one day.
No, that's not... But what if it goes up 20% and that's above your price?
Oh, then you don't buy extra.
But let's say you only had $100,000, you wanted $1 million in, and you never got to put in the other $900,000.
You never got to put the $900,000
Yeah,
in.
see, that's what I'm like.
See, to me, because guess what? There'll be other companies that won't be at that high.
Yeah, there will be. Yeah.
To me, we're trying to buy pieces of companies at below. I've started to get away from the whole position size idea. My whole idea is deploy capital in the best opportunities. So if I choose a dollar amount every week, I'm going to say, hey, let's say it's $1,000. I'm going to invest $1,000 this week. If 5 companies fit, it's $200 each. If one company fits, I'm going to do $1,000.
Oh, you're just going to deploy the total amount where you see fit.
Yeah, because think about it. Don't I want to put more money into the ones that are below my numbers? Mm-hmm. If anything, I should be doing is which ones are furthest away and wait towards that. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, that's the way it should be done. Yeah. Like if company ABC is 10% undervalued, company XYZ is 50%, shouldn't you put more money in 50%?
50%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. Let's say you had 20 companies right now and you're fully vested, 5% each. Mm-hmm. In 10 years, you're not going to be 5% each.
No, it's going to be more.
What do you mean? A few will be a lot more and a few will be less.
That's true, yeah.
So you're going to sell off the ones that have gone better? You shouldn't.
Well, then it comes to when do you sell?
See, that's the thing.
When do you sell that's a hard thing to determine.
I think I like the idea of when it gets egregiously overvalued. And what to me egregiously
is egregious to you?
To me, egregious is if I do a 10 or 20 year analysis and if I even use a high estimation, like I go, listen, this ain't going to happen, but it's not like absurd. Like Microsoft.
Yeah.
I don't think Microsoft's growing their revenue 12% a year for the next 20 years.
Okay.
So I put a price in at 12% a year and it's still above that, maybe that's when I start to take profit. But like we said the other day, look at your Apple situation. Yeah. I said you don't sell Apple. Why? Because the tax you have to pay will take your basis down to will take it basically where you went from 170 down to 124. Yeah. And I'm like, would you buy Apple at 124?
Yes.
Probably, so no reason to sell it. That's another consideration to make.
Yeah, that was a good one because they talked about it in the book 100 Baggers. There was a couple pages on it about the guy who he had a position, sold the position, bought it back the next day or something like that, and the guy who did not sell and buy it back the next day just kept and held, he did much better in the long run because he didn't have the tax liability.
And that's something we talked about a lot. Like, I always tell people, don't worry about paying the tax if you want to sell the company, but the tax should be considered when you want to sell.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't really.
People just get upset paying taxes. I'm like, listen, if you want out of the company, you just got to pay the tax, or find some other dollar. Find something you've lost money on. You can sit there and have a tax loss harvest for,
or move to the Caribbean or the Caymans and get out of paying your taxes.
Does that really work?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't really know.
I don't want to live in the Caymans.
I've never. Oh yeah, how is Anguilla?
Anguilla. It was good. The funny part was the guy, like one of the servers at the hotel, called me Tony for like 4 days. He just kept calling me Tony, and all of us in the group were like, "Why is he calling you Tony?" I'm like, "I have no idea, but I'm not going to correct him because he was a nice guy." And then finally, like second to last day, we're there. I was paying the check, and all of a sudden he called me Mr. Gabriel. So I was like, "Oh, he must have seen my name, not being Tony." And he was just like,
"Whoops.
Oh boy, I've been calling him the wrong name for a while."
Was Four Seasons legit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to one before.
Yeah, it was nice. God, that place is so expensive.
Like everything is just expensive?
Yeah, everything's expensive.
They import everything, right?
Yeah.
It's like...
Lisa did a what's it called? Blowout. Here, it's $35. There was $172.
Andrew showed me down in Turks, a bag of Fritos down there. Like you go to the gas station, it's like $15 down there.
Mayo, a jar of mayo down in Turks was $10. We have to import
crazy.
everything.
Yeah, that's how it was. That's how it is in Aruba. I mean, I don't think it's that bad in Aruba, but it's pretty bad because they import.
Well, we're going
everything.
to Aruba in November.
Right? Yeah, you're gonna like it. It's a nice place.
Yeah,
a lot to do.
A lot to do.
Yeah,
I want to sit at the pool.
Yeah, you can do that. There's a lot of good restaurants there. Well, I sent you the list. I decided that outside of videos, I'm not looking at news anymore. Because I didn't do it before. So why? The only reason I did it was really for the morning show, you know? So I looked at it and I was like, what's the point? I think it's clouding my judgment.
I like looking at the news.
Do you?
Because I look at it for like humor's sake.
I do too, but I think it gives me like subconscious bias.
I've now started to reprogram myself into saying if it's in the news, it's probably wrong.
That's a good way of looking at it.
That's literally the way I do it. Like if I sit there and say like, oh, China's going communist, I go, probably wrong.
Yeah.
50% of banks could fail, probably wrong.
Yeah, that's...
If it's made the news, it's probably incorrect.
It's just a news story.
Yeah.
Just for ratings. Yeah, mine was really like... I told you this already. It was the day the GDP number came out at 1.1%. Consumer spending was up like 4.2. Estimation was 3.7. And I was like trying to figure out in my head, like, what's going to happen? This is what should happen. This is what shouldn't happen. And I was like, screw it. I'm done with this. Just find good companies, buy good companies at good prices, and move on. What does it matter? What does it matter if the market falls 50% and my stock falls 50%? If I'm buying it at like a really great discount right now and it's a great company, what do I care?
It'll be a better discount later.
I'll buy more down when it's a little bit lower.
Yeah, and your basis will probably be 25 or 30% lower than it is today, which is still pretty solid.
And I still think the future of the company will probably be the same that I think in this moment.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the whole back and forth that I thought that was going on with that. Yeah. But back to so we haven't had to think about selling stocks yet.
Yeah.
Because we talk about how to enter a stock. I think the conversation is going to shift in a few years.
Well, Howard, who is it? Howard Marks? Somebody says, or Monish Pabrai says, it's harder to sell a stock than to buy a stock.
Pabrai actually said he's made far more selling mistakes than buying mistakes, or not buying mistakes. Pabrai's also the one that kind of more front loads his positions. That's why that was why I thought about it.
Does he front load?
Yeah, he like when he sees something, he goes for it, and then he adds more as time goes on.
That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe he
really front loads it.
Maybe that's a good idea. Just instead of just go like, hey, I like this. I'm gonna start a big position.
Big position, yeah, and then have more dry powder to deploy as time goes on, or you get it from the dividends, or you get it from your options. But maybe it's just front loading it.
I have good news for crypto investors.
Okay.
Jim Cramer has said that Bitcoin will shrivel up and die soon, according to somebody that just tweeted at me.
Really?
So crypto's probably going to the moon now.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Speaking of front loading, I'm going to go front load crypto.
No, that's a good idea, by the way, to get back to it. That's a good idea to like maybe just start a certain position size and like a percentage of your portfolio.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I have 7 stocks right now, and I remember thinking to myself like recently, I'm like, damn, like 20 would be a lot.
It would be.
I used to think I wanted 20 or 30.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I think 20 would be a lot. Plus, if you have like, if I get to the point where I have 40 companies that I like, I got to think at any given time, 10 of them will be selling at prices I like. So I can still get to my 20 or 30 number, but maybe just have smaller positions in certain ones. And the big thing will be adding money every single year with options and dividends so I can keep deploying more and more money as time goes on. And as the businesses spit off cash, et cetera.
Yeah, we were talking about, since we've been looking at more smaller companies with our analysts now, it does make more sense to shrink the portfolio a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of going from 20, I mean,
I used to want diversification. Now I'm like, no, I kind of don't.
Like the more you know about these companies and you're just like, wow, everybody's missing this.
Yeah.
I mean, potentially missing it. Who knows? We could be missing something, but
Of course.
it goes back to like, we've been looking at a couple companies this week, and like maybe this is what Monish means by if something is astonishing and is jumping off the page, slapping you in the face. But I found when that happens, you're like, what am I missing here?
Yeah. But here's the deal. Like, that's more, like to me, I've started to realize more and more that in the stock market, it's much more likely because people's emotions just really batter things up. Like I look at Southwest Airlines, it's at $29 a share. That's what it was at COVID levels.
Yeah.
It got to like $23.50 or something like that. And I'm looking at it going, okay. Then I start looking at the numbers going, okay, I understand why it's at $29. Like people are looking at the current earnings going, and the gross margin's terrible and they've had losses the last 2 quarters. I'm like, okay, but then you dig into why the losses occurred. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And they had that whole fiasco in December where
their computers basically shut down, and it was like 16,700 flights that were canceled or
something like that.
It was outrageous.
Yeah.
And then they had another computer glitch like last month, remember?
Yeah.
Something was wrong with their computers.
That was really sick.
Apple,
what was that?
Apple's reporting earnings tomorrow. Speaking of not
What's
following
Apple
the
at?
news, Apple's at 170 right now. Well, it was when we finished our last video on banks. It was a top searched stock right there, top searches.
169.59.
Oh, wow, it's down.
It was almost 171, bro.
Wow.
Today. Now it's 169.57.
They're reporting tomorrow. I can't wait to see what they report. So I read on Instagram, they have done, I think I sent it to you and Dalton. They have done $1 billion.
A billion?
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Into that new savings account thing.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
In like 2 weeks or something. That's pretty cool. I got my 14 cents of interest back this month. So I got to figure out how to deploy my 14 cents.
How are you going to deploy it?
I don't know.
You got to pay taxes on that.
I do. Well, it takes it down to 7 cents. What can you get for a nickel these days? Nothing. Oh, what? Yeah, there's not much. Speaking of news and stuff, have you been watching what's going on in the world of newscasters getting fired? And I just saw, Vice News?
Yeah, it went through bankruptcy.
Yeah, going through bankruptcy. And Patrick Bet-David at Valuetainment made an offer of $100 million over 5 years to Tucker last night. He's like, I swear to God, this really did a video on it. He's like, Tucker, I am being dead serious about this offer. He's like, if you want to come here to Valuetainment, you will be the
First of all, what's Valuetainment?
president. It's a media company. They have about 4+ million subscribers on YouTube. They put out really great content.
Do they?
Yeah. Patrick Bet-David is just like awesome. He's an awesome dude.
Is he right wing or is he a Trump supporter like you? I did that for Tim and Nick. Mo had no response to that.
I was trying to think of a comment back, and I was like, I know they bleep out swear words on this, so I can't come up with anything. I know. I thought we were allowed to say whatever we wanted to say.
Oh.
But then they bleep it out.
No.
Yeah.
Do they?
I saw the last.
Do you know
one where I said-
Valuetainment?
Everyone knows him.
I don't know him.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
It's great.
I don't watch videos.
If you saw him, you would know.
You would know.
Really?
Probably. Yeah. Here, I'll show you him.
God, that was so funny.
His house.
I'm so proud of myself. Can we just go back to what I just said? How proud I am about that one. Is he conservative or is he Trump supporter like you? Yeah, that was good.
God.
Can you stop with the FedEx shit?
No. I was about to bring that up. I have gotten 3 notifications via text message, 3 notifications via email that my package is delayed. I get it. It's delayed. You didn't have to tell me. I already knew it was going to be delayed.
Why do I get my packages on time?
I don't know. These are my Jordans that are supposed to be coming from Nike. Delayed. Then I ordered a hat from Nike. Delayed. It's like,
Okay, show me this valuetainment thing. I don't even know why I brought this up. Every morning
you did this, not me.
I wake up to you and Matt complaining about FedEx. Literally, there's 84 messages in there. I'm like, and 78 of them have to do with FedEx.
You know this guy?
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he's great.
I thought he was a douche for a while. Is he not a douche?
No, he's not a douche. I do think, if you've ever watched one of his interviews, I think he's the best interviewer I've ever seen. He is very good at interviewing. He knows the right questions to ask. He's really good. Unlike the biggest podcast in the world, who I think is the worst interviewer of all time, but
Who?
Joe Rogan.
Oh,
Rogan sucks at interviewing.
yeah, he's very
I
popular.
love Joe Rogan. I listen to him. But it's like agonizing. It's like, oh, God, why didn't you ask that question? I wanted to know the answer.
And he goes for like 2 hours, doesn't he?
3.
3 hours.
3 hours uninterrupted.
I wonder what his average watch time is.
That's a great question. Can you find that on YouTube? Oh, he's not on YouTube anymore. He's only on Spotify.
Can we find it on Spotify?
I doubt it. Yeah, see if you can find it. I mean, when I listen to him, I don't listen for 3 straight hours, but I typically get through every interview the whole way.
Wow.
Yeah. Like he did. The one with Zuckerberg, I couldn't get through. Zuckerberg's voice.
What is he? Yeah, he's a terrible voice.
It's rough. Yeah, I couldn't get through. I really wanted to listen to that one, but I couldn't do it.
I try to figure out the things that own your brain.
FedEx.
Baseball,
New rules in baseball.
Major League Baseball, the alleged 2020 stolen
It
election.
doesn't really own my brain. It just happened, and it is a thing.
No, it owns your brain because you're an idiot.
Did you see my picture with DeSantis?
No, I did not see.
DeScamptus? That was a 10
you're-
out of 10.
You don't like
I
DeSantis
like
now?
DeSantis.
Oh.
But he calls him desanctimonious.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's real.
Look at him just standing there like a.
It was very awkward. Look at our arms. They're just like, don't put your arm around him.
Oh, they said that to you?
Yeah, it was weird.
You should have put your arms like interlocked him. You should have tried to hold his hand. That would have been awesome. Like underneath, I just like.
He's a cool dude. He's kind of like
He's a cool
he's
dude.
kind of a bro.
How can you say he's a cool dude?
He kind of is.
You don't spend any time with him.
He's kind of a bro.
You met him for 14 seconds, in which they said to you, "Don't put your arm around him."
They told me before I walked in. I don't think they would have done anything if I put my arm around him. It was just me and the photographer and Ron DeSantis. Although I think he was a SEAL.
What?
I think he was a Navy SEAL.
DeSantis was?
Yeah, wasn't he? He was in the military in some capacity. He was a lawyer for them?
Oh, sick. From Navy SEAL to lawyer. Good job, Mo.
Are you sure?
He was a lawyer for
Can somebody Google this?
How do you become a lawyer for the Navy SEALs?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. I thought he was in the military.
He was in the Navy, lieutenant.
That's not a lawyer.
He was legal advisor to the SEAL Team 1.
Oh, okay.
He was
Le-
stationed at Guantanamo in
Gitmo.
2006.
I watched a good movie this
He
weekend.
was in Iraq in 2007.
Was he?
Yeah.
You know what? So Nicole was gone this weekend. I watched a lot of.
What'd
good
you watch this
content.
weekend?
So I watched. Hold on, I gotta scroll back and I gotta make sure I say this correctly. The Mauritanian.
What?
The Mauritanian. It's about this guy
What the F are you talking
who
about?
was an alleged terrorist in part of the 9/11 attack. He was kept in Gitmo for 14. I'm sorry, he was kept in somewhere for several years. Then he went to Gitmo for like 10 years. They never charged him, ever. They just kept him there and just tortured him and everything. And then all of a sudden, he got off. And then the Obama administration did whatever they did, and they kept him like for 5 more years. And then he got out sometime later. But he was never charged.
That was a sick story.
Yeah, good. It's a good movie. You should watch it. It's a good movie. You should watch it. Second one, Boston bombing.
Oh, I watched that. I watched that docuseries.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
You know, Lisa gets upset with me because I watch TV without her, but she's like at dinner, she's playing tennis. At night, she takes forever to do things. And I'm like, I'm not going to wait around. I started watching Ted Lasso. She's like, I want to watch that. I heard it's great. I'm like, well, you know, you've been gone for, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else did I watch?
Ted Lasso's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I thought it was going to be funnier than it is.
Yeah,
but
good.
I'm actually happy that it's not. Like, I like the way it is. Like, I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be like a full-blood comedy, and it's not. It's like got drama, it's got comedy, it's a dramedy, as they say. Is that the word?
Dramamine.
Dramamine? Yes, Dramamine for sure.
Yeah. I'm starting to watch Your Honor.
Oh, that's a good show.
I really like it.
So I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Don't tell
God, I
me
so
anything.
badly want to tell you
No,
what
don't
happens.
tell me.
Just to with
I'm
you.
like on
I'll tell you
number
what.
5. No.
I'll tell you what.
No.
Stop with the FedEx stuff, and I won't tell you what happens at the end of Your Honor season 1.
Okay, fine.
You promise?
No.
Then I'm going to tell you what happens at the end of season 1.
Don't tell me. I get.
Tell your boyfriend.
What do you want me to tell him?
Tell him you're not allowed to talk about FedEx in my presence ever again, or else I'm going to ruin shows for you. I will purposely Google shows I haven't seen just to make sure I can ruin them for you.
Matt, we're sitting here on a podcast. We're actually presently recording. Paul said he's going to purposely ruin every show that I watch ever if I don't stop talking about
Matt,
FedEx.
I will Google if I've not watched the show. I will Google the spoilers for the show and make sure I say them to Mo every single day.
So you tell me if it's worth it. I will not accept until you confirm. Okay.
If he says no, I'm going to rattle off the biggest thing that happens at the very end of the season.
What's the other show that I was watching?
I don't know.
We Crash. That's good.
Oh, that's right. We
Crash is good.
For WeWork.
Yeah. 2 things I found funny about the Boston bombing show.
Funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go on with this one.
Number 1, just 13 years ago, how incredibly patriotic everybody was.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. What did I say?
13.
Yeah, 10
It
years
was
ago.
2013.
It was 2013. Second thing, they locked down
I know. Don't
metropolitan Boston.
Don't start.
And
Don't start.
that was the city that did that. And Obama came in and said, you cannot keep people locked down for like 24 hours. You have to let them out of lockdown.
So here's a problem I have. Can I tell you what the problem I have is? Why are you guys laughing? Here's the problem I have. I hear from Looney Tune leftists, and I hear from Looney Tune Trump supporters. You guys are both stupid. Both. Just absolutely
What's wrong with
stupid.
what I just said?
Because of all the other things you've said, it diminishes what you just said, which was logical.
Very logical.
But you said other things that are just completely off
Like
the wall.
what?
What do you mean, like what?
I've never said anything illogical.
You are my father, and you are Trump.
A nice compliment.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I made an error. I recently tweeted Robert Kennedy. I was like, is he a libertarian? Then I Googled his tax policy. He believes in a wealth tax.
Does he really?
Yeah.
He's running on the Republican side?
No, he's a Democrat, but he's anti-forced vaccine and he's anti letting biological males play in women's sports.
Oh, that's nice.
I kind of was getting excited about it too.
Yeah, weren't you getting excited?
Yeah.
I was actually like,
microphone?
okay, maybe this is something I can vote for. And then I looked up his tax policy. I'm like, F, we're done. Even though, for all you lifelong Democrats out there, John F. Kennedy, the president of the United States, believes that the most important thing for the growth of a country is low taxes, especially on the wealthy.
Yeah.
So Bernie Sanders recently said he wants 100% tax on anything over $1 billion. Say goodbye to how many jobs when somebody goes, well, I can't make any money above $1 billion, so I'm not going to grow.
Literally the stupidest.
He is
person.
literally so dumb.
Yes. I don't.
If you like Bernie Sanders, I want you to do me a favor.
I want you to do me a favor, but I can't say it on
I
the
know,
show.
that's the thing. I was already
Because
say
it's gonna
something, but I'm
be-
like,
yeah.
because I'll probably get
I'll be
arrested for that.
censored. Right.
If you like Bernie Sanders, you're stupid. Please don't watch the channel. I hate you. I just absolutely hate you.
I hate you too.
I think you're absolutely stupid.
Yeah, you are. It's not think. You are stupid.
Go undo your man bun. Get back in your Tesla that you now hate the guy for, and go buy your cryptocurrency and get the F out of my face.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders is a hypocritical sack of shit.
I love that the comment that he made about the writing the bestseller book. Number 1. Number 2.
For those who don't know what he's saying, when they said to him, hey, listen, you're against all these people being wealthy, but you yourself have made millions. And his comment was, well, all you have to do is write a best-selling book. And I'm paraphrasing, but he basically alluded to the fact that, well, if you write a best-selling book, you also could be wealthy. It's like, okay, well, how can I not apply that to everything for every rich person out there, including people who inherited their money? Well, all you have to do is it's marry into money or be born into money. It's a ridiculous statement. It's so hypocritical. Like, literally, you ultra-left-wingers are fucking stupid.
Second one that was great about Bernie Sanders. Well, first of all, he drives an Audi R8, which is how much?
100, but it depends on what kind of model it is. Could be upwards of $200,000.
I'm sure his was probably that one.
Yeah.
Third, he just he was promoting an anti-capitalist speech that he was doing. Guess how much the cheapest tickets were? $100. Anti-capitalism. You guy's a moron. And anybody that goes and sees that, you're a moron too. One of my favorite pictures, memes that I've seen on Instagram is the girl that's sitting there like goth, and she has like we the people, we're the 99%, all this. She has a MacBook Pro and a $7 cup of coffee from Starbucks. I'm like, yeah, this is how you fight it. Just keep doing that.
Oh boy,
it's fantastic.
But I do believe that as a country, we're getting more and more into this whole like anti-rich person thing, and it's got to swing that way because rich people did have it good for a long time. I don't think it should stop, but the sentiment has shifted. You know, when I meet wealthy people telling me it's not right that there's a big gap between rich and poor, I'm just like, well, what the hell does that even mean? That's capitalism, unfortunately. I just go, okay, we're going to have to swing the other way for a while, and that's fine. But
it's fine, but it's going to be, don't expect
but then they're going to
that many quality jobs out there.
I mean, it's going to suffer long-term growth. I just believe that. You get to give people incentive. At the end of the day, everybody's incentivized to do things. Bernie Sanders is incentivized with money. AOC is incentivized with money. The communist parties of Soviet Union were incentivized with money. So I look at this saying, what Charlie Munger says, look at someone's incentives, I'll show you their actions, right? Or behavior.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you tell billionaires you can't become a billionaire, every income has to be above. Now, I don't know if he's saying everything above $1 billion in income is taxed 100%, or if he's saying if you have $1 billion net worth, all your, what's the
Guarantee
issue?
He's saying net worth.
Either way, any sort of restriction on incentives, which is what taxes are, by the way, is terrible.
Here I look at this is a story that came out April 24th. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google.
Yeah.
His salary for 2022 was $226 million.
Yeah.
And I was reading comments on it, and people were like, that's terrible, that's terrible. I was like, what did Google do in revenue last year? What did Google do in profit? How many people did they employ? How much better did Google get to help everybody in 2020 from January 1st to the end of the year?
End this conversation.
I'm just like,
I gotta end this conversation.
how is this possible? I think the guy should make $500 million.
I'll make
year.
every ultra lib and every socialist a secret right winger just by them having them getting. I always say the libs will start getting mad when it starts to affect them personally, and that's it. Once it starts affecting them personally, like I see all these women
young
athletes.
kids.
When I look at these women athletes,
Yeah.
the majority of women are left leaning. So you're telling me all these women athletes who are pissed that transgender women are playing in their sports. I'm looking at going, now all of a sudden they're mad because the leftist policies have creeped into their life. And it'll just get worse and worse. And every left-leaning rich person I know does everything possible to limit their taxes.
Yep.
I've never met a left-leaning person who goes, I have no problem paying more. They'll say
it, of
hey,
course.
tax me more. Well, you're welcome to pay more. You don't have to keep your money. You're welcome to pay more. Right. Anyways, are we done here?
No, not yet. There's one more thing. Oh, when you have high school kids and they go into college and they get their first job and they're left leaning, and then all of a sudden they start making a little bit more, and they're like, wait a second here, why are they taking my money? And then they start switching. It's a gradual.
Well, or they, and not like some people still stay
or they
stupid.
double down,
I don't know. Yeah, they're just dumb.
grow their hair out, start going and get craft beers, and double
Can
down.
we put an end to man buns?
I saw a man bun this weekend, and I was like, oh, man, I wish Paul was here.
Why didn't you take a picture of it?
I was probably in a bad mood at some point.
Why were you in a bad mood this weekend? It was just you and Tito.
Yeah, something happened. Where was I? I don't remember. I was going to get like food or something, and they screwed it up. Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle's suffering with their portion control and
Everything control.
yeah, it's bad.
Employee appearance
But their
control.
stock is over $2,000 a share right now.
Yeah, and Kramer thinks it should be there.
Kramer's an idiot.
Yeah. All right.
All
That's
right,
it.
we're done. Thanks very much.
See you guys.
Bye.